So, or Sec Nani. So magandang gabi. Let's talk about evidence that was used in the House of Representatives in determining probable cause. And let's also discuss what exactly is COMS doing in the Marcos administration. Anong ginagawa nila? Bakit hanggang ngayon hindi pa rin nila ini-explain kung ano nangyari sa premature announcement ng ating Pangulo with regard to the alleged but misrepresented arrest, quote-unquote, of former Congressman Zaldico. Wag po nating kakalimutan, like, share, follow, and subscribe. Request lang po natin sa ibang mga nakatambay dito, should there be repeated questions that had already been answered, because we will be taking questions, then to assist us in answering those questions that have already been addressed. Okay, so let's begin. During the hearings conducted in the House of Representatives Committee on Justice, so it is very clear that there was something going on. And what was that? While the congressmen or the members of the Committee on Justice were very clear about asking only clarificatory questions, and this was apparently policed by the chairperson of the committee, Congresswoman Luisto, there was something else that was going on. Ano yung mga nangyayari? Well, as the defense had originally pointed out, there was no way, considering that the lawyers were not going to be allowed to participate and the respondent herself was not present, then there was no opportunity for lawyers or for the representatives of VP Inday to question the manner in which the participants, the members of the Committee on Justice, were conducting their clarificatory questions or their demeanor or what they were saying in the course of these proceedings. Ano ba ang proceedings na ito? Dun sa last few hearings, nakita natin na ang determination dito ay of probable cause. Let's start with the definition. What is probable cause? Probable cause in criminal cases means that based on the standard of a reasonable person, sorry for the feminists, based on the standard of a reasonable person, the evidence will point to the probability that a crime has probably been committed, that this person probably committed the crime. Okay, so yun ang hinahanap natin. Probable cause in impeachment is probably based on the standard of a reasonable person, we can conclude that the grounds for impeachment are present and that the respondent probably committed those violations. Okay. So, given this, what was presented? Ano lang dapat ang kinikilatis ng Committee on Justice? Unang-una, kung ano ang naisumite na. So, ang naisumite yung dalawang reklamo at ang kanilang mga attachments. Ano naman ang contents ng reklamo na yon? Well, hindi naman tayo, kumbaga, uulitin lang po natin yung sinabi ng yung mga itinalakay. O, primarily, ano ang mga itinalakay dito? Teka, let's be precise. Pasensya na, medyo nawala yung notes ko, so I have to repeat. Okay. Ano yung mga key charges dito? Misuse of confidential funds, ito yung binabase doon sa yung sinasabing 612.5 million confidential funds from the Office of the Vice President and the Department of Education. Ang mga allegation dito ay tumanggap daw ang mga fictitious beneficiaries. Pangalawa, yung alleged assassination plot and threats na sinabi during a conference, a Zoom meeting with journalists and vloggers na she had hired somebody to unalive the president, the first lady, and the House Speaker should something happen to her. And that something means that, she was also unalive. Okay. Betrayal of public trust. Ito ay general accusations lang, supposedly mismanagement and other abusive behavior. Unexplained wealth. Okay, hindi ito maliwanag doon sa mga reklamo, pero yun pa rin ang naitanong during the committee hearings, ay the the hearings conducted by the Committee on Justice. Mayroon daw significant and undeclared increases in net worth between 2006 and 2005. Actually, it wasn't really unexplained wealth, but there are allegations of corruption. And as a matter of fact, yung allegations about ill-gotten wealth or unexplained wealth were supposed to be related doon sa misuse of confidential funds. Parang at the start, during the hearings, ang nakikita natin ay may attempts na i-link yung mga deposits doon sa confidential funds. However, later on, during the presentation in the committee, nakita natin na ang pinipresenta nila ay even those years when she was not yet Vice President. Next. So, ayan na nga. So, bribery and corruption. Irregularities di umano sa procurement at monetary gifts to the Department of Education officials. Obstruction of justice, di maliwanag, but nakalagay doon ay obstruction and instability. Accusations, not instability, but destabilization. Sorry. The accusations daw of attempting to destabilize the government and directing protest rallies, limited po ang nakita natin dito. So, the Committee on Justice ultimately decided that there are sufficient evidence to indicate that there is probable cause. Probable cause, meaning that the Vice President probably committed these acts that violate any of the grounds that are stated in the Constitution and that we stated out here. Okay, so all right, next. Now, in using evidence, we are obliged to follow certain rules. So, ano yung mga rules na yon? Well, in the first place, evidence must be obtained legally. Pagka hindi legal or may nilabag na mga batas dito, particularly yung tinatawag natin na yung rules on searches and seizures and related incidents, kumbaga, in connection to obtaining evidence, mayroong doctrine called the fruit of the poison tree or the fruit of the poisonous tree. Depends on which you've read, no? At ang ibig sabihin niyan ay pag ang ebidensya ay nakuha labag sa karapatan ng ibang tao o labag sa batas, hindi maaaring ipresenta ito sa hukuman o sa anumang proceeding later on. At in fact, hindi yan dapat inilalabas. Okay. So, ano ang dinetermine? Ano yung pinag-usapan during o ano ang kinilatis ng Committee on Justice? So, tingnan natin. Ayon sa, well, nag-sinamarize namin yung ilang mga pagdidinig na natiis namin panoorin, mahirap din po kasi. So, misuse of confidential funds. Ano ang ebidensya dito na iprinisinta? Ang primarily na tinignan natin o ang kanilang iprinisinta ay ang di umanong notice of disallowance na ibinigay ng Commission on Audit. Habang dinidinig ay biglang in-announce naman ng opisyales ng Commission on Audit na naging pinal na o not naging pinal na nag-decide na o naging pinanindigan ng Commission on Audit ang kanilang report on the disallowances. At binigyan naman ng pagkakataon ng time ang Vice Presidente at ang ilang mga opisyales ng kanyang tanggapan na dalhin ito sa hukuman. Sa madaling sabi, hindi po pinal ang desisyon na ito. It is not yet final. Doon naman sa Department of Education na more or less about 500 million na confidential funds din. Lumabas din ultimately ang decision tungkol dito, pero may oras pa po na mag-file ng motion for reconsideration. Next. Yung doon ano ang prinisinta na ebidensya ng alleged plot and threats. Ang pinisinta dito ay yung video where she was angry and angrily denounced several officials of government at yung kanyang mga sinabi. Now, the evidence in this matter is clear, but what was noticeable, what we had observed is noong pinipresenta ang ebidensya dito, it was sufficient. Ano yung sinabi ng isang kongresista? Res ipsa loquitur. The thing speaks for itself. They could have stopped there, but they did not. Anong ginawa ng ilang mga miyembro ng Committee on Justice? They made manifestations. Allowed naman ito sa rules ng House. Pero ano ang ginawa doon sa manifestations? Gamitin nating halimbawa si Congresswoman Laila de Lima. Sabi ni Congresswoman na ibinanggit niya si PRD, binanggit niya si Mayor Duterte, binanggit niya na tila ang pamilya daw na ito, nasa DNA yata daw nila, ang ganitong klaseng behavior. Halimbawa, inilabas ang video ni Mayor Baste. How is this now related to any charges made against the Vice President? The short answer, it's not. The long answer, it's still not. So bakit binanggit? Bakit tila may komentaryo ang ilang mga kongresista, katulad dito sa ehemplo na binigay natin tungkol kay Congresswoman Laila de Lima, na bakit may pagkakataon na may komentaryo, may pagkakataon na ano yung sinabi ng ibang nasa comment, parang may panggagatong. Okay, that's a simple explanation. Pero doon sa kanilang so-called manifestations, naglalabas sila ng mga ebidensya not contained in the complaint or any of its attachments, and in many instances, such as the one of Mayor Baste, not related at all to any charge made against the Vice President. Anong kinalaman ni Mayor Baste? Wala. What was the purpose then of Congressman De Lima presenting these videos, or the video of Mayor Baste? Wala. Incendiary lang. Meaning, it inflames, its intention was to inflame the passions of other people, to make the Vice President look bad, to bolster an out-of-this-world interplanetary accusation of this being in their DNA. Okay? Yes, sabi ni Ms. Rain, the purpose was to humiliate the Dutertes and primarily to humiliate the Vice President. Hindi intensyon ni Congresswoman De Lima na mai-address ang evidentiary requirement dito sa pag-find ng probable cause na purpose ng pagdidinig sa Committee on Justice. Ang purpose niya ay for 2028, siraan, pahiyain, yurakan ang karakter ni VP Inday. Maraming pinasok na hindi namang ebidensya na maaaring gamitin sa impeachment, hindi namang ebidensya na related dun sa mga charges. Ang purpose, manira. Ang purpose, political yung intensyon. Okay. Susunod. Doon naman sa betrayal of public trust, pero hindi natin nakikita yung mga specific examples. Unexplained wealth. Ito ay hindi original charge na nakikita natin doon sa ibang mga complaints. Gayunpaman, we will presume that it is there, even if it was noted only in passing. Unexplained wealth. Dito na po pumasok yung pag-subpoena ng mga records of the Anti-Money Laundering Council. Now, this is controversial. The defense says that absolute ang confidentiality ng data ng AMLAC na kinokollect nila pertaining to movements of money in the various accounts. Okay? On the other hand, ang mga proponents doon ng mga kongresista, sinasabi nila hindi, either it falls under the exceptions or it is not covered at all. At any rate, nilabas that there are so many transactions amounting to over 6 billion, allegedly, transactions. But the math isn't mathing. Sabi nga nila, hindi sufficiently explained in the course of the presentations made in the Committee on Justice na transactions could mean inflows and it could also mean outflows. And what happened here is that they tallied the number of transactions regardless of whether the money goes in or the money goes out. So in the absence of explanation for the totality of the transactions that were described in the manifestation or in the recitation made by the executive director of the Anti-Money Laundering Council, again, it was made to look incendiary, inflaming the passions of people who would not have sufficient information to look at the evidence with a more objective view. Okay. So this was notable. Bribery and corruption. May allegations of monetary gifts given to the Department of Education officials. At naaalala pa natin at ginamit dito ang transcripts ng mga pagdidinig sa Committee on Good Governance. Naaalala natin na yung isang opisyalis doon na binigyan ng pagkakataon na i-explain na tumanggap siya ng ilang envelope containing money, siya po ay na-appoint to as commissioner for senior citizens. Next, Okay, interesting din yan, monetary gifts na yan. What is clear with the evidence that was presented, testimony of at least 2 people receiving envelopes with cash, allegedly or purportedly coming from the vice president. Any person or any lawyer worth his salt would ask, where did this envelope come from? And in the instance of the hearings in the Committee on Good Governance, they were handed out. We are not sure by which official. But what is very clear is that they cannot directly relate these envelopes to the Vice President herself. A lot was being said with, ang alam namin, galing kay Vice President. But direct knowledge, direct and personal knowledge of the Vice President giving away these money in envelopes, that was significantly missing. Okay. So ito yung mga significant dyan. Nevertheless, since the finding of probable cause is only, how do you call this? It's probable cause, meaning hindi ito guilt beyond reasonable doubt. Now, in the case of impeachment, it is sui generis. Hindi siya criminal case. It's not a civil case. It is more towards an administrative case. Bakit natin nasasabing ganon? Kasi ang mawawala, ang penalty dito is the loss of position, the loss of a job. What are other administrative cases? Cases in the civil service, doon sa kapag may ginawa na offense that is administrative in nature, ang pinakamawawala doon sa government employee or official is their position, is their job. Or they can be suspended, or they can be, they can be suspended. Okay, and it goes into the record. Criminal cases, what are the penalties? The penalties can be the loss of your freedom, meaning you're incarcerated, or you pay a fine, or both. In civil cases, these are usually cases for damages or the status of persons, such as legitimacy of children, the existence or non-existence of a marriage, succession, meaning who inherits, personality, meaning does this person have the rights, or is he considered a person under the law? And also, it pertains to damages. So, for example, mayroong nagawa yung isang tao, may nasaktan, but it doesn't constitute a crime, then damages are due to the person who has been, who has been harmed or who has been deprived of something. So in this case, it's more in the more administrative in nature. When we say that the case is administrative in nature, ang evidentiary requirement niyan is less than that of a criminal case. In criminal cases, you have to prove guilt beyond reasonable doubt. In civil cases, the side that has the most evidence, that is most persuasive, yan po ang mananalo. In an administrative case, reasonable evidence is required. Okay, so mababa yan as compared to proof beyond reasonable doubt. Okay, so given this, what is the evidentiary requirement pagdating sa impeachment? The evidence must at the very least be reasonable. But it is still up to the senators to determine what amount of evidence will be persuasive for them. As we said, it is really the Senate who will set the limits or who will set the standards for their vote. What is also important is that in making a determination of whether or not a person will be removed from office, or it can be ang nakalagay dun sa Constitution, the penalty is only up to removal from office and perpetual disqualification. But nothing stops the Senate from imposing lesser penalties. Okay. Next. So, the House, the committee eventually determined there's probable cause. But many observers were saying na umpisa pa lang, alam naman natin na yun ang magiging desisyon ng mga miyembro ng committee, ng Committee on Justice. Papunta na naman sila doon. Why did they play it out for so long? The prevailing theory is that they wanted to impose the maximum damage on the character of the vice president with the intention of showing potential voters or voters that she is allegedly not fit for the position of president. It is no secret the vice president is in the running. She is running for the position of president, and she will be a candidate in 2028, or she intends to be a candidate in 2028. In the absence of any potential candidate or any candidate with the potential of defeating the vice president, the best thing that her political opponents, and some say political assassins, can do is to destroy her image, so that there will be so that her winning in 2028 becomes more doubtful. Their position is, as long as they can keep hammering away at her reputation and making allegations, true or otherwise, in any forum that they can find, they might be able to destroy her enough to try to defeat her. Okay? That's their game plan. Of course, they're not counting on what is known as the DDS. In one interview that we conducted on the we had with Congressman Leandro Leviste, I asked, people are saying you're DDS. Are you DDS? And what did he say? I am. There seems to be an impression that people don't like to be characterized or like to be labeled as DDS. But let's face it, governance during the previous administration, this is not a direct quote, okay, was, or at least the way he said it was that it seemed to be very good. It set a high standard. And so he proudly can proclaim to be DDS. Why are we bringing this up? Because this is the support of the vice president. The candidate for 2028 is, one of which is Sara Duterte, and she can count on a DDS. What is DDS? Well, supposedly diehard Duterte supporters. And yes, the support dies hard, meaning the support of the vice president is not easily swayed. In the beginning, from the moment that she declared her candidacy for her intention to be a candidate in 2028, that support solidified. Some say even calcified. Meaning, it's going to take a lot more than that to sway those with the solid intention of putting her in Malacanang in 2028. So let's deal with your questions. Now, remember, you are free to disagree, but you're not free to be disrespectful. Okay, you'll be removed from the comment section. Hi kay Juang Lili. Maaga daw siya. Hi, Ma'am Lucky Sprite. I hope your love life is going well. Ma'am Zaidi, hi. Okay, I'm still not seeing any questions. Wait lang. Love the damit. Oh, I was wearing this in the spokes kanina. This was under the jacket, the blazer. Oy, thank you for liking the makeup. In the comment section in the spokes, somebody mentioned that it's too makapal daw and it shows on television. I encourage everybody to put comments also in today's episode of the spokes. Ha! Okay, looking for questions. Jumel says, call out your congressmen and congresspersons. Sabihin natin ayaw natin na bumoto sila ng yes sa impeachment sa plenaryo. Make a video and tag them or tell them personally. Nice. Make a post. Same time, yes, 8 o'clock tomorrow. It's 11:55, so it's still tomorrow. May 1, Friday, on the Billionarian News Channel. So our guest is Governor Chavit Singson. Hi, KCHX BAET. Thank you very much. Sabi ni Miss Lucky Strike, she deleted her first DM kasi may wrong grammar, di ko ma-edit. Na-conscious siya, but ayon, Attorney BF was really listening to you, kaso mas gusto niya mag-impromptu lesson. Okay, but my regards to your love life. Miley Rose is asking, oops, there you go, sorry. What are your thoughts about the number of voting in Congress? Which part of Congress, the House or the Senate? Is it going to fly going to the Senate? We don't know that. There are two, there are two, how do you call this? Reports that you can consider. Number one is that supposedly si Majority Floor Leader Sandro Marcos has been strongly encouraging the congressmen to vote in favor of impeachment and sending the articles of impeachment to the Senate because they might be inconvenienced by a total lack of funds if they don't. So yun. That's what's happening there. On the other hand, there are some people who are reporting that many of the congressmen are no longer interested in voting in favor of impeachment. Entire, parties have signified that their individual members are being left to their own devices or to determine based on their own conscience what their vote is going to be. Which means it's a cocktail of, facts that don't lead to a slam dunk decision. Yeah. Okay. So the trolls are out. Let's pick one at random. Ako ito says guilty. To be ridiculous. We're still in the House of Representatives and all the committee has done is to make a finding, huh? Well, based on the committee's opinion, there is probable cause. So what are they going to do about it? They're going to put it into a report and make a recommendation that will be turned into a resolution that will be voted on by members of the committee, and then that will be forwarded to the plenary for another round of voting. So anong guilty pinagsasabi mo? Nasa House of Representatives. All they are determining is whether or not there is sufficient evidence to send it to trial. Guilty ka dyan. Okay, next. Sabi ni Sartara Big. If the Senate convinced but chooses not to impose disqualification, doesn't that effectively return the final judgment to the electorate rather than fully resolving the issue of public trust? Let's say it does, ma'am. So what? Okay, there's nothing in the Constitution that says that the final judgment must resolve the issue of public trust. Right? It is, in fact, the Supreme Court's decision on the latitude of discretion of the Senate in determining when it can start is pretty wide as long as it is reasonable. Again, so the standard here is reasonableness. So how is it reasonable to expect that the Senate must vote in order to resolve the issue of public trust? Is that even an issue here? Are you inventing this particular issue for the Senate to resolve? Where is this coming from? Could the records presented by AMLAC be construed as fabricated without formal confirmations from the banks concerned? No. These are official. If these are official and certified documents from the AMLC, the presumption is that they are real and correct. It will be the burden of those who are challenging these to prove otherwise. I can't focus. Your skin is so flawless. Please share some skincare routines. I have makeup on, so that might be affecting the that might make it look that it's really flawless. It's not. But I also have very good lighting. Do you think there is an impact with the voting decision na nangyari about the opening of the box containing the BIR documents of VP Sara sa magiging decision ng lower house sa impeachment for trial? No, I don't think so. I think that largely the consideration at plenary will no longer be evidence. It will be largely political. Sir Joseph, could you please avoid the all caps? I'm sorry, I don't have eyewear right now. Thank you well, I don't know your name, so thank you for the rose. Oh, by the way, on TikTok, thank you very much for all the gifters, and thank you very, very much for your continued support of Luminous. Sabi ni Amazing Meow, harang na harang ang Mendiola ngayon po. Siguro may rally ang makakaliwa. Maybe. On the other hand, maybe they're concerned about peace and order considering the decision of the Committee on Justice. Hi kay It's Fudge. Sabi niya, I hope you enjoyed Davao. I always enjoy Davao. Sabi ni Ma'am Jackie Liu, Kong Pulong posted Sal and Scare na ang labanan sa Congress. So let's talk about Sal and Scares as well as the funding scares, di ba? Recently, the Ombudsman asked members of Congress to provide their SAL-Ns to the OMB. It appears that many had not filed their SAL-Ns there. The OMB can keep these SAL-Ns. 6 complied because I understand that they have pending cases before the OMB. But most other congressmen, they did not. According to the prevailing theory going around, is that this is what is going to be used. This is a form of pressure, psychological pressure on the congressman, a reminder that they can be investigated by the ombudsman at any time, and the evidence could be taken from their very own SAL-Ns. Harfox says may rally daw sa Labor Day. There's always a rally on Labor Day. I mean, that's not news. Every year there's a rally. Pwede ba yung walang bail ang libel? No, libel is bailable. About Jason sa nadakip yata ngayong gabi. Ganito yun, ano? Usually there is a judge on duty or on call, in the same way that there is an inquest prosecutor, always on duty, always on duty after office hours. So if there are no duty judges and duty prosecutors, then, well, that would be a problem. That is in fact a problem. So those who were responsible for the arrest, where the detainee does not have access or cannot file for bail for days, then that can be a matter for a complaint against the law enforcers who served the warrant at on a weekend, at night. Okay? Night and on a day before a holiday. I understand tomorrow, Labor Day, is a holiday. Sabi ni Yami Mao, ano po ang masasabi nyo after lumabas yung result, nagpalakpakan at nagtawanan pa sa Congress? Well, para sa akin, lahat tayo may kalayaan magsalita at magpahayag, at ang mga expressions natin, tawa, iyak, galit, these are, covered by the freedom of speech. That being said, it says a lot about their character that they would rejoice at a time like this. Or it can also indicate their political inclination. So maliwanag na para sa kanila, it is a triumph. But how can they do that? They are supposed to be a body given the discretion to weigh to examine the complaint and their attachments to determine probable cause. But why the celebration? It doesn't make sense unless, they felt that this was a mountain to climb and that their intention really is to ensure that the respondent, in this case, the vice president, they are celebrating the first step in her removal. So for me, that was, it makes them look bad. Magagamit pa rin ba yung evidence na wala doon sa original complaint sa impeachment ni VP, like secondary affidavit statement ni Madriaga? Secondary. wasn't that attached to the complaint? It was attached, di ba? Not secondary, supplemental affidavit. Ang hindi ko nakita was the original affidavit itself, although it was reproduced online. May deadline ba kung kailan pwedeng i-transmit yung articles of impeachment sa Senate from the Congress? Meron yan. Sandali lang po. Let me see, ha. There's no specific deadline. It just says that the transmittal should be after they are approved. The process must occur before the House adjourns sine die, final adjournment of a session. So, wala. So it must be before the House adjourns. How confident are you na hindi makonvict si VP pagpunta ang impeachment sa Senado? Why is your question loaded? Why are you concluding that I am confident that she will not be convicted or I am confident of anything? I have not indicated confidence or even made a fearless forecast. So I have nothing for that. Hi, Sir Art. Thank you very much. Desiree Fernandez says, kita mo nga attorney, anong sabi nila kay Sir Marcoleta, he or she, tapos sabihin nila na hindi siya daw kasali. Well, hindi naman, it's like this. Congressman Paolo Marcoleta is not a member of the Committee on Justice, and so there are repercussions to that, there are effects. Meaning, kapag hindi ka member ng Committee on Justice, you cannot ask questions, but you can make a manifestation. So it was necessary to make that distinction. However, you're right in your observation na parang yung ibang mga miyembro ng Committee on Justice, they were low-key trying to insult Congressman Marcoleta. Fortunately, he's made of sterner stuff than that. Di naman siya napikon at hindi siya nagalit. At he was able to still make his manifestation. Thank you kay Sir Choi. This is a blouse, Ma'am Alice. Thank you. Impeaching the official that was voted, sabi ni Weng, by 32 million, insulto na po yun sa freedom of voting ng lahat ng bumoto. Actually, well, yes, you can say that based on your opinion, yes. Easy says excited na yung mga komedyante sa Senate. Thank you kay Hermione. Sabi ni Cheng, mga fans ni BBM sa TikTok wala nang ang profile tapos naka-private pa ang account. That's interesting. Parang it's so difficult to to support somebody if you're embarrassed by your own support. Ma'am, there's no such thing as a secondary affidavit. Sabi ni Candy Crusher, secondary supplemental affidavit statement ni Madriaga was not included in the original. Pati yung kay Trillanes di rin kasama. Well, definitely yung kay Trillanes hindi kasama. In fact, it is questionable as to whether or not his testimony in the Committee on Justice should have been excluded. I should have been included. I do not know about a secondary supplemental affidavit because there's no such thing as a secondary affidavit. There could have been a second supplemental affidavit, but I am not aware of that. We are aware that a supplemental affidavit was attached to the complaint, okay, because the original affidavit was already previously submitted and part of the records of the Committee on Good Governance. Sabi ni Alcuin, I watched the spokes earlier and sobrang bright ni Attorney Poa sumagot and very respectful, might I add. By the way, your program is very informative. Thank you very much. Please do include a comment when you watch. Totoo bang may conflict of interest pag may business ka while sa government post? Si Luis to lakas makasabi kay VP, pero samantalang yung mga congressmen, may mga construction firms pa na kumukontrata. Totoo bang may conflict? Okay, ganito. Normally, you are encouraged if you are a government official to divest your interests in businesses that have potential to be a conflict of interest. So, for example, you are the owner of an internet service provider. And then you're appointed the ICT secretary, you must divest kasi magkakaroon talaga ng conflict. Congresspersons, legislators must divest from businesses where they will be discussing or where they are proposing legislation. So yung mga ganon. But it's not just your actual ownership or your family's ownership, but you must declare if you maintain that you have business interest or shares of stock in particular corporations.